Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Julian Mosine McQueen with the Million Person Project.
And I'm Heather Box.
Today on Stories Are Power, we're going to be addressing two questions. First question is, what do I do if my story is too hard to share, if it's too painful, right? The second one is, what about when I'm in the middle of my story and I feel like it's unresolved and I don't know where it's going? I can't share that story. So those are a couple questions that we get a lot, and we'll be getting into that today. So Heather, we've already said, number one, the thing that we hear the most from people we work with is, I don't feel like I have a story, right? Ironically, the thing that we hear second most is, well, my story's too painful, I can't share it, nobody wants to hear it. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's because being a human being is really complicated and we go through a lot on this journey. And, so people come to me and they say, oh, my story is too sad, no one wants to hear it. If they knew my real story, they wouldn't accept me. And that's why this work is so personal. It's such a personal decision about whether or not you want to share your personal story publicly. And, because there can be consequences of sharing your story. Maybe people won't accept you if they know what you've been through or they know what you've done. But for me, what I always ask my clients is, do you want to work with people, be around people, be friends with people who wouldn't accept you if your truth was known? And it's, because I believe that our stories, when we tell our deeply true personal stories, we both liberate ourselves and we send an invitation out for people to do the same. And I think it can be such a profound growth experience for ourselves to allow ourselves to be known in all of who we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we've done this work all over the world and have worked with people with really incredible and powerful and often painful and tough stories. Particularly, you've done that. I wanted to see if you might share a little bit about an experience where you've done that. What was the situation, and how did you help people to get in touch with the power of their story and feel like they could share all of those pieces of themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the place where, I was running a workshop where everybody in the group all felt the same way, like my story's unresolved, it's too hard, was when I was working in a prison in Pennsylvania. And most of the people I was working with had life sentences. And so they were obviously saying, like, you know what, who wants to hear my story? Like, I could tell my story as a cautionary tale, don't do what I did, but that's not what I'm interested in. And so the process for me was really to support them in coming to the understanding that your story is not about what happened to you or about what you did. It's about who you've chosen to be given that. So I would ask the group, like, who have you chosen to be? What are the values that you bring to this circle? When you wake up in the morning, what are you committed to? And how did you come about embracing those values? What were the life experiences and who were the influential people? And when people, it was like, I remember this one guy, Tom, he was like scoffing at me because I kept saying, you have to be proud of who you are to be able to do this workshop. And he was like, proud of who I am, like all I've ever been told of is to be ashamed of. And it's like, you can't let, a handful of life experiences or one life experience define you. You have to be able to dig deeper and figure out what other parts of your story are there and what were the choices that you made in relationship to those values that you carry. And so, working in that situation was really mind-blowing for me because it was really, really cool to watch over the course of a week how much people started to say, wait a second, I do have a message. Wait a second, these values do come from these life experiences.
And it's not just a cautionary tale, but
No.
I've chosen to be somebody even in this terrible situation.
Yeah. And so for me, that was really profound to watch that. And that's what I always share with people when they say, it was profound on two levels. One, it was profound to watch the transformation that people went through when they started standing in their story and to see the power that they started to embody. That was so cool. And the second was Watching, for example, Tom's story be shared, it was audio. I watched it in front of a room of 200 people, his story be shared. And to watch the room receive his story was so incredible. It was like his truth, they could feel the power in his truth. And his message was about it's never too late to change. And you can change drastically and you can change overnight. That no one, there isn't a person on the planet who can't change. And so it was just a really beautiful experience to watch the audience receive that and to also watch the power that he got from going through that.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I just love the idea, and just as a reminder to our audience, it's not what's happened to you and it's not what you've done, but it's who you've chosen to be given those circumstances. And that is the work of the Million Person Project, is to help people to explore that and to better understand what that is for them. Where is the power within your story, and how can it affect change in the broader world and affect change for you personally? That's what we do day in and day out. It's what we love to do. And if that's something that you're interested in exploring, if you have a story that you feel like needs to be told but you don't know if you're ready to tell it, then we want to help you to get there, and we want to help you to explore all of that. And we would love to talk to you. So please feel free, reach out to us, contact us, and let's talk about how we can help you with that. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hey folks, if you liked our video, don't forget to actually hit like and also subscribe right down there. Thank you so much.